During Black History Month, Springfield Technical Community College has a special exhibit. It's by an artist in residence, Kiayani Douglas, at the school's Careberry Fine Arts Gallery.
So I was born and raised in Hartford, Connecticut. Always been interested in art. I think my first memory of art making was in the 5th grade. I just remember loving to draw. Like most artists, you draw a lot and you paint a lot until you go to school, and then you get exposed to other things. And so
I just want to say, as regards that program that was on 22 News about the artist with the Black History Month and the fact that she had her brother on the flag.
The artist takes special pride in this military painting in which her brother served as a model.
he felt that that was his only way to kind of get out of the ghetto, for lack of better words. And so I really wanted to create this piece as a way of protesting his ideas of him feeling like that he had to serve.
That is not right, only because he's not the only one that has to make that decision to get out of his situation.
So this was Madam C.J. Walker's mentor, and she was actually the first millionaire for hair care products.
The money that's there really sticks out to me because I think a lot of life is economic, and I think that the denominations on the money that are given speak to our capitalism and to how we see the contributions of each one of these individuals that's depicted.
We Want Back Black Wall Street was a body of work that I was really excited to make, and I'm excited to reimagine in different ways. I wanted to engage people into a different conversation of like what it would look like if we had our faces on our money. And so ultimately, I really want people to be able to just tap into the conversation, whether that be in your living room, whether that be virtually online, whether that be with you and your child. I feel like a lot of these narratives, outside of the people that they represent, but as a whole, are very important to instill pro-Blackness in us.
A lot of white people have oppressed Black people and still do. A lot of times, they're scared of how much power they have, and they don't realize if it's applied in the right ways, it can be so much more than what they're doing right now and how they're doing it right now. When
people ask me about Fallacies of a Black Identity Enthusiast, for me, it's really a show about all the misconceptions of someone who's honestly enthusiastic about Black culture and what that really means. I feel like a lot of these narratives, outside of the people that they represent, but as a whole, are very important. We have this idea just globally of anti-Blackness that shows up everywhere, and so just bringing some more Blackness into the mix of things and letting people know and understand that you can have a different perspective, you can hold different space and energy, but as long as you're respectful and empathetic, that's really all that matters. We wanted immediate end to police brutality and the murder of Black people. This was their 7th point. I named this body of work No More Hashtags because it felt like for a time there was just like every day there was a new hashtag. Eric Garner, Sandra Bland, Trevor Johnson. Sandra Bland, she was pulled over for not signaling and then ended up found dead. Like no one still knows. And so her pattern in the background are question marks. Eric Garner, 11 times he said he cannot breathe to police officers while they're putting him in the chokehold. He died, and so I created his patterns out of lungs that just so happened to look like cowrie shells. So it was kind of interesting how that kind of came about, and I'm really interested in that idea of genetic memory in the sense of sometimes we don't know what we're doing and why we're doing it, but that memory kind of lives within us, and we just do things because it's a part of us and a part of our legacy and what that looks like.
My favorite series was the Capitalism Kills series. I just think that most people don't think about the maybe smaller effects of capitalism that we don't see directly, we don't think about, more subtle things.
So going back to we want an end to the robbery by capitalists of our Black community, I created a body of work that has a lot more work than I presented here, but Capitalism Kills. Here's a couple of ones that I'm actually working on. Aetna, they're actually in Hartford, Connecticut. Through doing research, I found out that they insured slaves during slavery times. I created this body of work, Capitalism Kills Healthy People. Purdue was pushing an initiative for doctors to just prescribe so they can fatten their pockets.
The Coke bottle or Coke can with the capitalism causes diabetes is like just crazy. I mean, we don't think about those things. And we also don't think about the way capitalism steeps down into our economy and hurts people at the bottom the most.
The Ellis Act is an act that landlords have the power to evict people if they want to turn it into a condominium. And they said 10% of the people who are homeless in San Francisco right now are homeless because of this act. We want decent housing fit for the shelter of human beings, and that I call Roach Motel. And those are based on personal experiences that I have, and people try their best to live their best life. I was living in an apartment that was infested with roaches, that had a ceiling that was collapsing, all these different things. But me knowing my rights, I knew how to call public housing authority. So when you walk into places, you make judgments, hold space for what that looks like. It's not cheap to be healthy in this country, to eat healthy, to be healthy mentally and physically. But there's all these little things that are not making it easy for us to be our most healthiest self.